The air hung heavy with mist, shrouding the village in an eerie silence. Not a single soul dared to venture out into the fog, not even to tend to their crops or livestock. It was as if the entire village had been put on hold, suspended in an eternal state of solitude. In the heart of this ghostly village sat a colossal clock tower, its gears frozen in time. Legend spoke of a mad clockmaker who resided within its depths, a man who never aged and whose very touch could steal your memories. It was a tale so terrifying that anyone who heard it would be consumed with fear. But amidst this chilling narrative, a curious traveller arrived, drawn to the village by tales of the cursed clock tower. What secrets did the tower hold, and what role did the mysterious clockmaker play in all of it? Most importantly, why do we keep coming back to these stories even though we know they'll end in tragedy? We are programmed to seek patterns in the world around us, and horror stories follow a particular pattern which is quite predictable after a while, so our brains get comfortable with them, kind of like putting on a well-worn sweater. Familiar, cozy, safe. But what if I told you there's a twist in the tale, a secret lurking beneath the surface that challenges everything we think we know about these stories? Buckle up, because things are about to get weird. The traveller stood before the imposing structure, its shadow looming over him like a spectre from the past. He adjusted his backpack, his gaze unwavering, as he began to climb the ancient stone steps leading to the tower. Each step echoed with the sound of his own heartbeat, intensifying the sense of foreboding that accompanied him on his journey. As he ascended higher, the air grew colder, sending a shiver down his spine. The rhythmic tick-tock of a nearby clock reverberated through the stone, serving as a grim reminder of the purpose of this place. The traveller continued his ascent, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a need to unravel the enigma of the clock tower. He found the door hidden behind a veil of creeping ivy, its surface adorned with moss and grime. With a deep breath, he reached for the tarnished brass knob and pushed open the door, stepping into the musty embrace of the tower. Inside, cobwebs brushed against his face, and the air hung thick with the scent of decay and dust. And then he saw it, an ornately carved wooden clock, frozen at the stroke of midnight, its pendulum hanging motionless in the dim oil lamplight. As he approached, intricate gears and springs revealed themselves, silent witnesses to countless moments lost. The traveller reached out, his fingers tracing the cold, hard glass, protecting the clock face. In that instant, a sudden jolt surged through him. Images flashed before his eyes, fragmented memories of a bustling village square filled with people going about their daily lives. He saw children playing, merchants hawking their wares, and lovers whispering sweet nothings. Then, just as abruptly, the visions vanished, leaving him in the cold, harsh reality of the present. Shaken but resolute, the traveller decided to explore further. He descended the spiral staircase, each step creaking ominously under his weight. At the bottom, a labyrinth of tunnels stretched before him, their darkness pierced only by slivers of light filtering through cracks in the ceiling. As he ventured deeper, the air grew colder, sending shivers down his spine. The sound of dripping water echoed around him, creating an eerie atmosphere that seemed to amplify his every footstep. Suddenly, the traveller came upon a small room. Its walls were lined with shelves holding an array of clocks, each more intricate than the last. But it was the sight that greeted him upon entering that made his heart skip a beat. In the center of the room, an old man sat hunched over a workbench, his face obscured by the shadow of a wide-brimmed hat. The traveller hesitated, unsure of what to do next. Should he approach the man or remain hidden in the shadows? As if sensing his presence, the old man slowly turned his head, revealing piercing blue eyes that seemed to hold a depth of knowledge beyond human understanding. Startled by the sudden movement, the traveler stumbled backward, his mind racing with questions. Who was this man and what secrets did he hold? Taking a deep breath to compose himself, the traveler decided to confront the old man, eager to uncover the truth behind the clock tower and its enigmatic guardian. As he stepped into the room, the old man gestured with a gnarled finger, motioning for the traveler to approach. Curiosity and trepidation warring within him, the traveler slowly walked forward. The closer he got, the more details he noticed. The old man's clothes were tattered and dusty, and his skin was like ancient parchment, etched with lines that hinted at a life lived over many decades. His hands, gnarled and twisted, rested on the workbench, their stillness belying a strength that the traveler instinctively sensed within them. "Who are you?" the traveler asked, his voice echoing in the confined space. The old man's lips curled into a knowing smile, and his eyes twinkled with an otherworldly light. "I am the keeper of time," he rasped, his voice like the rustling of dry leaves. "And these clocks," he continued, his gaze sweeping over the numerous timepieces on the shelves, "each holds a piece of someone's memory." The traveler frowned, trying to decipher the meaning behind the old man's cryptic words. "What do you mean?" he pressed, feeling a growing sense of unease. The old man leaned forward, his eyes boring into the traveler's soul. "Each tick, each tock echoes with a story, a life lived, a love lost," he whispered, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial level. "It is here, in this tower, that time stands still. And I," he paused, his gaze unwavering, "am its servant." As the traveler processed the old man's words, a wave of dizziness washed over him. The room spun, and he felt a profound disconnection from the world outside. The whispers of countless lives seemed to swell around him, forming a chorus of voices that threatened to consume him. Struggling to maintain his balance, the traveler gripped the nearest shelf for support. His eyes darted around the room, searching for an escape from the overwhelming cacophony of memories. He needed to leave, to escape the suffocating grasp of the past that threatened to engulf him. Just when he thought he couldn't endure another moment of torment, the old man spoke again. His voice, though raspy, held a note of urgency. "Leave," he rasped, "while you still can." The traveler didn't need to be told twice. He turned and fled, racing up the spiral staircase and out into the misty daylight. As he stumbled away from the clock tower, gasping for breath, he glanced back. The old man stood silhouetted against the faint glow emanating from the tower's windows, his form radiating an otherworldly aura. The traveler knew in that moment that he had been granted a glimpse into a realm beyond human comprehension. But, as the days passed, the traveler couldn't shake off the unsettling feeling that something was amiss. The encounter with the old man and the visions he had experienced in the tower haunted his thoughts. He found himself plagued by fragmented memories that didn't seem to belong to him. Faces, places, and moments flickered at the edge of his perception, tantalizingly out of reach. Driven by an insatiable need for answers, the traveler decided to return to the village and uncover the truth behind the enigmatic clockmaker and the secrets he had so carelessly revealed. Back at the clock tower, the traveler searched for clues, examining every nook and cranny for any hint as to the old man's identity and the nature of his connection to time itself. Amongst the maze of gears and springs, he discovered a hidden compartment containing a worn leather journal. Its pages, filled with arcane symbols and cryptic entries, hinted at a world where time was not a mere tick-tock on a clock, but a tangible force to be reckoned with. As he delved deeper into the journal's contents, he uncovered a horrifying truth. The old man wasn't just a keeper of time, he was its prisoner. The clock tower, far from being a sanctuary, was a prison, trapping both the old man and the traveler within its timeless embrace. With a jolt, the traveler realized that he had been trapped in this loop of memories and timelessness all along. The fragmented visions he had experienced weren't his own memories. They were the memories of those trapped within the clocks, their stories and experiences echoing through time. The traveler understood now that the old man had tried to warn him, but the true nature of their predicament remained elusive. Why was he here? And how could he break free from this unending cycle of reliving the same moments over and over again? Suddenly, a chilling realization washed over him. The old man wasn't the clockmaker. He was one of the clocks. And the real clockmaker was none other than the traveler himself. He had been collecting memories, unknowingly weaving them into the fabric of time with every interaction and experience. As the traveler grappled with this earth-shattering revelation, he realized that he had been dead all along. He had died in the village years ago, and his consciousness had become intertwined with the clock tower, forever condemned to relive the final moments of his life. The truth was a heavy burden to bear, and yet it was a necessary one. Only by confronting his own mortality could the traveler hope to break the cycle and find peace. With newfound determination, he set about undoing the damage he had caused, hoping to restore the memories he had stolen and set the trapped souls free. His journey back to life had begun.